This is Tecate, Mexico. It's the border fence right there, and I'm on the south side of it. So I come into Mexico for dental work, and a lot of people do live in San Diego. You get it quite a bit cheaper. And, I'm no fan of the Biden-Harris administration. I can't think of any Democrat I thought anything of. Maybe Bill Clinton was okay in some ways. But anyway, if you listen to the news, you would think that there is like a disaster here on the border. I mean, Fox News actually uses the words no operational security at the border. So, I mean, there you go. All the gringos with a brain come down here and have American trained dentists with state-of-the-art equipment do the work for like a third. So I just had some cavities filled. Super fun. But I just walk across the border. And again, according to the news, you would think that there is like, migrant camps and all this craziness. And it's like not even remotely true. I mean, I know that there are some issues farther east, a place called the Boulevard. There's said to be a bunch of, migrants, whatever, tent cities, but this is a border crossing. This is a foot crossing. It's like that's the border right there. So there you go. National Guard, Border Patrol, Tecate, Mexico, and I've crossed this way probably about 8 times now. One time, and this was way before all the craziness started with the Bidens. There was a bunch of Ethiopians in the immigration office, like looking lost, Hi, we're here. What do we do? And then, again, I'm on the Mexico side of the border. I'm at like one of the heaviest traveled border crossings in the United States, and looks just like normal. And again, it's not like there's not an issue. I mean, the issue is like Texas Governor Abbott like sending these people out by busload. Please, there's no excuse for that. So now I'm going to do the pedestrian crossing, and I'm going to film as long as I can. I don't want any hassles crossing the border. But here I am at the Tecate pedestrian crossing, and that's the vehicle traffic right there. I think I might have made a wrong turn, because I gotta get, there it is. Okay, so this is the vehicle traffic lined up to go through the border inspection station. And I mean, it's a big long line, pretty typical. Now, in addition to cameras and all this stuff, gotta break my damn leg. Cameras, there's sniffing equipment that will sniff for fentanyl. But this is the main pedestrian U.S. Tecate border crossing, and I am going to attempt to walk through here with my camera on. Pedestrian crossing. Tecate port of entry. I have my passport handy. And welcome to California. Absolutely situation normal. Excuse me. So, again, this is the line coming in, and listening to the news, you would think that there would be like some, I don't know, migrant camps and services and all this stuff, and it's just all such bullshit. I mean, you can't even begin to gather up the list of lies that the media is telling, and, you know, for whatever reason, it's like, what the fuck, but, okay, so, this is mainly from all my conservative Republican friends that are not adjacent to the border, that are listening to the situation where they're saying, hey, you know, it's completely out of control. Tell them to shut the fuck up. Seriously. It's like a million things wrong with our country, and there's places where the border's out of control, but I'm at the border. There's nothing going on here. So, you know, if this part of the story is bullshit that they're telling, you know, what else is? And the answer is everything. Everything they lie about. Now I'm going to drive through the main westbound Border Patrol checkpoint on 94. And this is a place where, if you look at the crime reports, actually stop a huge amount of fentanyl and drugs and all kinds of stuff here. So sometimes, you know, there'll be dogs and whatever, but for the most part, barely tap the brakes. So let's see what it's like today. And as I roll through this, I'm going to have the camera playing, and that's always kind of a risk that they're going to hassle you because I don't like to be filmed. But notice on the right side that there's all these things that come with like cameras and radars and stuff. Those are some sniffers, as well as facial recognition software. So most of the time, a person like me, by the time I pull up to the Border Patrol checkpoint, they've got my stuff pulled up, or they don't even bother to because I'm known to be a frequent crosser. But 100%, it's all automated. As you roll up, they take your picture, facial recognition. If you've got a criminal record, warrants, anything like that. Otherwise, they just kind of do the show, ask you a stupid question. Are you a citizen? It's like, no, comrade, I'm from Russia. I'm from Russian propagandist. And so, but, I mean, Google, Facebook, all these companies, the federal government has a complete open door to all their information. So, like, if you are being looked at by either local law enforcement or these federal agents, they have the ability to pull up, you know, your YouTube account and see what type of comments you've made in social media, like discuss accounts on news websites where people comment stuff. They have access to all that stuff. So sometimes they will actually have looked up what kind of attitude you got on social media when they're interacting with you, which is really freaking bizarre. And you'll know it by the questions that they're asking. Because they're not asking anything like, where are you going? What you doing? Blah, blah, blah. They're like, hey, you know, you got this attitude about this. You're like, wow, okay, that's something I said 3 months ago in an online forum somewhere. So I'm going to pause this and I'll start it up when I get closer. So this is now a mile or two from the border checkpoint, and a tip for anybody who happens to be visiting this area: it is a tactical mistake to stop anywhere in the vicinity, like, don't stop before these checkpoints, because I just passed a guy. So they're basically, there's cameras up on these hillsides and stuff. And so what they're looking for is people dropping off people or picking up stuff before or after this checkpoint. That's a major red flag. This is the little town of Dolzora. So this, the land out here is pretty cheap. This is called Dolzora and Hakamba. And we know people who live out here, and it's not uncommon for them to get actual migrants, like crossing through their property. And the more generous of them just call them travelers and don't really hassle them. But yeah, you can come out to your car in the morning and you can find immigrants trying to drink out of your garden hoses. And I don't know how common that is. I've personally seen migrants coming out of the bushes along this road right here 2 different times. And I know for a fact, because I've been offered the gig, that you can be hired as a mule to pick them, the crossers up here, and drive them to El Campo. It pays about $3,500 a head. See, like this guy parked here, that's what the mules do. It's like they sit there, pretend they're working on their car, and really what they're waiting for is either a person or a package. This is the little town of Dolzora, which is maybe 5 miles as a crow flies from the actual border. And I do believe that there's a fence over there. I'm tempted to fly my drone, but I'm not sure if the geofencing would allow me to do that. The DJI drones will not take off in restricted areas. You can't even get them off the ground. But, I mean, this is brutal California desert mountains here. Crossing over these mountains is an arduous and very dangerous task. So the migrants can still cross here, but they're probably going to die because there's no water. It's steep mountains, and the rumors are a lot of these businesses right in here and some of the houses have tunnels underneath them, and whatever. There's cartel tunnels that have, railroad tracks in them and stuff. What I was personally told is that virtually every truck, like a semi-truck crossing the border, northbound for Mexico, has either people or contraband on. Like virtually every truck. They've got them hidden in the stuff, hidden in the vehicles, built into the panels, and it's like the amount of volume coming through in the sophistication they've got to avoid all the sniffers and the surveillance they do on the border patrol. All that's happening for sure. There's organized smuggling attempts, and the thing is, what I was told by a former smuggler dude was arrested 19 times for human trafficking and charged once, was that the only things coming across the border are the things that our police allow across the border. Now, 1 mile from the border, the main westbound border patrol checkpoint coming out of Tecate, Campo. This is the main eastbound route where all the drugs would come through. We'll see what happens. Checkpoint ahead. at your front and at your back. You see some rectangular boxes. These various instruments are sniffers. This one is obviously a camera. And that thing right there, the second one, that's a drug sniffer thing. It's pointing at me right now. And then there's your facial recognition software. How you doing? So that's it. North South Border Patrol crossing. And that's it. Bada bing.